This time on ChinnyVision, what could you get for £1.99 in 1989? Yes, 1989 was pretty much the end of £1.99 original games. Most games were becoming £2.99, and later a couple of years it would be £3.99 for most games. But Dynamix was a game I got for £1.99 in 1989 from my local newsagent on the Mastertronic label. Came on a flippy cassette, Amstrad one side, Sinclair Spectrum the other. So we start off with the Amstrad version, and you are basically in a power station simulator. The instructions made that clear. What you have to do is balance the rod. You're on the left-hand side here, and you have to drop down the balls. I'm sure there's a proper term for them, to match the computer so the two levels are balanced. When they're balanced, that little thing in the middle flashes, and after about 10 seconds, you've won. And basically, you can't start moving for the first few seconds either. So on the left-hand side, the computer gets a couple of moves, and then you're able to move. You can try and copy the computer, or you can try and go your own way and balance it out. There's a time limit on the bottom right-hand side as well, and you get a bonus for however many seconds you've got left. So on to level 2. So I can't move at the moment. The computer's going to do a few moves. Right there, off goes the computer. I'll probably get about 2 moves. Right, now I should be able to move. Here I go. Right. So the easiest thing you can try to do is memorise what the computer's done. The problem is, every level the computer gets faster. So trying to memorise it can be a challenge. So bounced out there. Will I get enough time there? Yep. Just enough. So over to the Sinclair Spectrum version. Looks very similar. It's by PAL Developments. Of course, did all the high-tech games. Got this game about the same time I got Speed Zone, but this game is a little bit better. It's a bit faster on the Spectrum, as you can see. We're only on level 1, and look how much faster it shifts around. It's very basic. There's no tunes or music, just basic beeps. And longevity of the game, well, yeah, I mean, it's one that it's like that game Simon, basically, but a kind of a more advanced version of that. Except you're dropping these things down as opposed to repeating sounds. It's not even like the balls make different noises when they go down. They always make the same noise. That'd be quite good, actually, if they made different noises. They get a different background for every level, but it is the Amstrad version, in which we're looking at the Spectrum version here, is basically a Specky port that runs slower. It seems a bit more enjoyable on the Specky because it's just that slightly bit faster. But there's no 128K sound effects. It is just 48K, and it's 1989, something it shares with Speed Zone. Again, it's just a little bit, how quickly can we do this game? Over to C64, and suddenly we've got a tune, and it's all a little bit more polished. And if you look at the credits on the Spectrum and Amstrad version, it appears the C64 is the original version. It's also copyright 1988, not 1989 like the Spectrum and Amstrad versions. So it'll be interesting to see how this version goes. Certainly much better presentation on the menu screen. And you've got instructions there for saying what you can do, what you need to do. This whole power station plot is completely irrelevant. It's just, the instructions here basically sum up what you need to do, and that's it. You don't need this whole stuff about how it's your annual assessment at the power station that come in instructions on the inlay. And look at this, it's much nicer. This is a complete surprise to me. It's fast, it's furious, there's great music, the graphics look fantastic. Look at the effects when the balls hit the bar that you're trying to balance out there, they disappear. Music's so good. This is a complete revelation to me. I'd never thought to try the C64 version. I've played the Amstrad version, I've played the Spectrum version because it was on the same cassette. Never thought to even consider checking out the C64 version. Wow, this is absolutely fantastic. There's not a lot of longevity here, no, but this is what the Amstrad and Spectrum version should be like. It's so much more pace, it just really adds to the game, and the music adds to the atmosphere as well, building up. On to level 2. Now I can move. And again, let's try and copy the computer and memorise what he did, but he's always one step ahead, of course, because you're delayed and both the actions, both sides, move at the same speed, so it's difficult to catch up. Sometimes it's, do I push a larger ball down, or, you know, what's he doing? It's and on to level 3. Now I can move again, and right off, so I'm trying to copy what he does. And it's a payoff which, you try and copy what he does, but sometimes you need to, in order to catch up, to push a larger ball down to balance it all out. And I've noticed, although I haven't selected a cheat, and I'm playing a cracked version, the time counter isn't moving. And I told it that I wanted the time counter to work. So yeah, I'm effectively cheating here. But I've loaded it up twice, and then it seems the crack always just does the same thing, unfortunately, but never mind. Back over to the Amstrad CPC just to contrast. And yeah, suddenly you can see why I never had much time for this game first time round. Because I was playing this, and it's like once you've seen that C64 version, there is no going back. Absolutely not. There's no debate, nothing. No Amstrad owner, not the most fervent Amstrad owner, could find Dynamix on the CPC defensible, or Spectrum owners as well. It's slow, it's pedestrian, it's nothing like what that C64 version is. They haven't even bothered to write any music. It smacks of one of those conversions of, can you knock it together in a weekend? Just so we can release this on the Spectrum and Amstrad. I mean, they didn't even say to PAL Developments, make sure you include some music. It's terrible. You'd have just written the Spectrum and Amstrad version off as a mediocre budget game. But you can see from the C64 version, there's absolutely no need at all. And some of the backgrounds on the Speccy, and this is a RGB on a 128K Speccy +2, grey +2, are also quite ugly, and the balls just disappear into the background, as you can see on this level here with the magenta brickwork on the background. It's really horrible to look at. Goodness knows what that looks like on a 48K. Back to the C64, and as it's like night and day, it's absolutely wonderful. This is a budget game you don't hear talked about. And actually, okay, you're not going to get a lot of longevity out of it, but it's very enjoyable. Dynamix is like two separate games. On the Spectrum and Amstrad, it's pedestrian, slow, and probably what you'd rate about 30% really if you were doing it out of 100, because it's not very good. You can see there's a good idea there, but there's no pace, there's nothing really there to grab you in. On the C64, it's like night and day. It's a really fast arcade-style puzzler with fantastic presentation and really great music. I've never really heard anyone mention this in terms of one of the really good 199 games, and it is. It's not an out-and-out classic, but Dynamix on the C64 is certainly a budget game that you should check out, and one of the highlights of Mastertronic's final years.